Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today, I am very happy to bring to you from the Transformers Studio Series line. This is Bumblebee the Movie Arcee. Now, this is Studio Series number 85. This is not and should not be confused with the very upcoming, I think several months down the road, Studio Series 86 Transformers the Movie Arcee, which is a heavy retool of the original Thrilling 30 Arcee. This is an entirely new mold based on the Bumblebee the movie figure, and I will say this at the top of the review, this is the best Arcee figure I have ever handled. This surpasses the deluxe Cyberverse figure by leaps and bounds. This surpasses the Titans Return, exclusive Headmaster Arcee. And of course, this is like leaps and bounds beyond the Earthrise Arcee. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is a entirely original mold and design. This was taken from the movie, as the other Bumblebee the Movie Deluxes we've looked at, and Hasbro retrofitted a vehicle mode. But this was designed to transform. Well, it wasn't really designed to transform, but it's not like it was an hand-drawn animation that was never designed to transform with odd proportions. This has the proportions and greebling and kibbling that is designed to transform and not be a shell former. It's really cool, great figure. They're popping this and its wave mate Ironhide. The repaint of Ratchet is showing up in Target. We'll take a look at Ironhide in another review. I got these off of eBay. Did pay a little extra, but at least I know I'd be able to present them to you now. Especially those of you who've been waiting to see Arcee and not checking out the lunchtime special reviewers. Now, we're going to start off in robot mode because I think that it'd be more beneficial to demonstrate the transformation from robot to vehicle. A few things you want to note is universal shoulders, double jointed elbows, universal hips, thigh swivel, calf swivel, single jointed knee. But one thing I do want to point out is, now the instructions show you to peg these in, but they come that way in the packaging, so you might not notice. Part of the robot mode is you have to actually unpeg the back of the thigh panel here. There's a natural stop, and what that basically does is help give a natural flat foot symmetrical design. Otherwise, it looks like Arcee has heels. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Weapons, there is actually weapon storage. A lot of people are like, well, you can transform the figure with its weapons in its hand, but you can also, in robot mode, store them on a peg right back there. So that's kind of cool. Now, like I said, we can do the transformation with the weapons in the hand, but the instructions, and I have done it that way, but the instructions show keeping them loose. And I think just so you can be able to see the joints and things of that nature more clearly, we will do it au natural. Now, of course, Arcee is a smaller figure, but I am going to back up ever so slightly to give us a little more working room. And yes, if you notice, I didn't do a cut, so the fact that I want to get into this transformation should tell you something. First thing, just make your life easy. Snap those thighs into place. Next, I start to move the arms out of the way just so I can get a firmer grip on the torso. You might want to do that. Spread the legs. You want to flip out the ankle as far as it'll go, and then you're going to pull down on the foot. There's a little sliding hinge there that will allow you to rotate the foot around. And now in robot mode, there's a little gap here, and that's supposed to line up under this panel here, as well as a tab that pegs in right there. I have heard from some people that some of their Arcees are not coming with that done, and that might be causing some warpage out of the packaging. Mine thus far is fine, but we're going to undo that, and then that panel, that little tab, is now going to peg into a slot in the front, and we're going to fold that foot back down. The instructions actually have you doing this to both at the same time, and I just think it's a little bit easier in terms of space to do it one at a time. And if I can point out, you now have an Arcee that's like on its wheels. I don't know if that was intentional, but it is a little bit of a wink and a nod to the original Arcee from the movies. You'll notice some teeth here and some receiving teeth there. You want to line this up as best you can, and you're going to squeeze it together. Now, I will tell you, this holds not well, but it holds. It might come loose during the transformation. Just squeeze it back together, and when we finish up and the canopy pegs into the legs, that will help hold things in place. So with that, the lower half of the body done, let's come in here, fan out her back vents, and let me just mention the backpack here. I don't think it's that bad. Personally, and I know this might ruffle some feathers, I think people who complain about backpacks are really just looking for excuses not to buy a figure. I mean, these are machines of war. You know, they're not going to be that dexterous and flexible. So open those panels up, and then swing the head back, and then just swing this whole panel down. Now, the instructions really aren't clear what you want to be doing now, but we're basically just unaccordioning that backpack, coming down here, bringing down this section, unpegging it, and then snapping it into place right down there. So this is all down across the back. Let's open up this, what is the windshield of like the three-wheeled bike mode. And there's a double hinge here on the head panel with Arcee's, that Arcee's head is attached to. You want to get that back, make sure it's swung back on both hinges so the head will fold down like that. Now, you'll notice that's not sitting flush. That's okay. There is a gap here in the vehicle mode. That is part of the design. It is sort of shown on the back of the packaging, although not that clearly, but don't worry about it. Don't try to force anything down. It is what it is. At this point, if you haven't spread the arms out, do so. Give yourself a little room, because we're going to rotate the figure around at the hips. And this is what I was talking about, where we're now going to have what was the backpack coming forward now. You have these large set of tabs that are going to peg into the slots in the calf, and then the smaller set of tabs that are going to peg into the thigh. And that will help secure the legs together just like so. Just peg it in, make sure it's all stable, and we're just about done, believe it or not. These Bumblebee the movie Transformers have been some of the easiest Studio Series figures I've handled. And if you notice here, yeah, there is a little pushback on these wheels. They just, I mean, it holds, but not well. I don't know honestly how close they're supposed to be. They might actually supposed to be open a little bit like that. I don't think it's not supposed to be one solid wheel. There are two tabs here and two slots in the torso, so we're going to fold that up and bring it in. Bring the arms down. You're going to fold the arms up on the upper elbow joint and then fold the wrists in. One little complaint about the hands is, yeah, they are situated on an angle. Now with this done, the final thing is rotate these thrusters, wheel sections around. There's a tab here in the upper part of the calf, or is that the thigh? Right here, tab, slot, tab, actually not even a slot, but like a hole that will go through. Well, what I recommend is pegging it into the leg first and then massaging the arm through. That will help line everything up. Do it again on this side. There you go. Now, the instructions show that you can store the guns in Arcee's hand, sort of like rear thrusters or, trying to cover the hands a little. If you also so desire, those pegs that I demonstrated in robot mode can be used, and, they do a good job, and I think I kind of like that look a little bit more. But there's Arcee in its wheeled vehicle mode. Like I said, the best Arcee figure I have seen in quite some time. Unfortunately, due to the nature, you have like a couple different types of wheels here. You have these little mushroom pegged in ones, and then you have this thing going on up front. She rolls not so well on this surface, but on like a carpet or something, you'll get a little bit better traction. But again, this is an entirely new design. Well done. And, it doesn't have to fit an animation aesthetic. So, and they're using the parts of the figure to make the vehicle. I dig that. You know what? And I'm looking now. You see how these guns flare off a little? That's really cool. So, definitely, I think Arcee is worth the pickup. But we'll pause, and I'll come back with my final. There's really nothing more I can say about Bumblebee the movie Arcee outside of go and buy it. I actually had a different review planned for today to film and share with you, but I wanted to bring this figure to you. That's how much I liked it and how I was looking forward to it. Minor quibbles with how the front feet peg together, the offset nature of the hands. Her face looks a little on the dead side, but, a lot more vibrant. I didn't mention it, but the ball joint the head is on, very expressive. These are showing up in Target. Hopefully they will ship sooner than later from various online retailers, because these weren't supposed to come till the fall. It's that conservative shipping estimates due to, the international shipping issues. But definitely, however you get this figure, whenever you get this figure, get it. For some of you, forget about being Bumblebee the movie Arcee. This might actually be your Arcee, period. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I will always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. As many of you know, it is a little tough now having to compete with reviewers who are getting early samples. So taking the time to watch a video like this when you could have watched it several months ago really is a big thanks and a sign of support. If you really want to make an ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you, help me to help you bring figures like Arcee to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. As some of you might have noticed, I got some new backdrops recently. The light box is new. I think I finally, after all these years, found my magic, my mojo, just in time to get a new phone. But that's a vlog for another day. But I really want to say this: if you can't do the $1 a month or $12 a year, that is more than okay. Your views, your likes, your subscriptions are more than thanks enough and really help keep this channel going and growing. We're right around getting close to 4,050 subscribers. I'd like to see maybe getting over 100 before the end of the summer. So spread the word. I'm here. I've been doing this for over 10 years. And I'm just a guy, you know. This isn't a character. This is me. Bad jokes and all. Sometimes I crack myself up. Sometimes my cat barges in. You guys know the deal. So, for Bumblebee the Movie Studio Series Arcee, this is your old pal Chuck. We will see you next time.